I've told my 23-year-old son one thing over 2,500 times. That's a lot. And that one thing is control your own destiny. And control your own destiny in your personal life and your professional life, because it means so much to you. If you don't control your own destiny, if somebody else is controlling your destiny, that means you're clearly out of control. And nobody should be out of control. You must control your own destiny. And there's a point where controlling your own destiny intersects our lives. That's probably what I feel personally is the most important time. And that is when you interview. When you interview, it's that special time when you have to put yourself out there. As an employer, you're trying to find the best person to work with your teams, make sure they're the right person, and as the interviewee, you have to get the job. Think about it, you get the job, you get the great job, you propel yourself in your professional career, you make more money, you create more happiness for your family, everything happens. It's that one time when controlling your own destiny means so much. So, for employers and employees, it's all important. And I created this interviewing questioning technique over time, at my time at Viacom. And in the last 6 years, I interviewed over 850 college kids, some of the smartest kids, from LMU, USC, UCLA, and Pepperdine. And I put them all through this. And it wasn't easy. In fact, it was frustrating. I know my questions are frustrating. They're not hard questions, but they're frustrating questions. And if you don't know the answers, it's even more frustrating, and you get really mad. And people would cry, and they'd give me the dagger eyes, and they would do all that. And I would hate it. And I have to figure something out. So I flipped the switch on my interviews. And I said to myself, in finding these interns that I was looking for with these interviews, that I would turn them into mentoring sessions for the kids. That I would push them forward, and I would show them that they should never interview like this ever again, but I would help them interview better the next time around. And from there, I created a platform, as you heard, called College Disrupt, where I now talk on college campuses all around the country, bringing these skill sets to the kids so they can propel themselves forward and deliver a little ROI from all you parents paying all that money to them, to the schools and helping them go along. You gotta get the ROI back. So this lets them get ahead when they go for a job and they can position themselves higher and get a better job in the future. And it works for employers to find the best person they want. So let me ask you a few questions. How many people here love their job? Like hands down, 24/7 love it. How many people hate their job? And how many people hate their job so much they hope their company implodes? Well, I'm going to tell you, Gallup Research now has did a poll. You guys are all kind of similar. 51% Gallup Research says of employees are ambivalent about their job. They say they like their job, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. 30% of them want to leave their job today, and truly 19% of them would like to see their company implode. They dislike it so much. So in my basic media math, I feel like 50% of these people are going to be interviewing here fairly quickly. So, over time I created these 2 little secrets and 8 questions that I used in my interviews to bring people along, and I'm going to share them with you today, and I want you to kind of answer them by yourselves, or after you leave here today, think about them and try and do them. They're proven. I've proven them over 6 years, like I said, and 850 interviews. You can do them yourself. So answer 1. Let's jump right to it. So the first little secret is that everything is a competition, especially interviewing. And if you let your guard down, you don't think this, somebody's going to beat you along the way. I promise you. Now, previous speaker mentioned Tom Brady. Greatest of all time, they say, right? Love him or hate him, Tom Brady walks on the field and he crushes it. He goes out there and he has one thought: I'm going to beat everybody else. And in the interview, that's what you have to think. It is an intellectual competition that you have to win every time. Don't forget, the employers are looking for the best person. And if you're second or less than second, you are the first loser. And it doesn't make any sense. So you have to be first. You have to apply that mentality to you. And little secret number 2. You must connect with people fast, no matter where it is. Interview, super important. Second part of this is like in life when you talk to people. People want to be engaged by people they like. They want to talk to them. You want people to want to talk to you and engage with you, and that is really important in interview. So we all know that you never get a second chance at a first impression. We've all heard that. And we've all heard and know that people judge you in the first 5 or 10 seconds. In fact, you've all judged me already. You've all made a judgment. You go, I'm going to listen to this guy, I'm going to tune him out. And that dates back to how everybody engages people as a whole, whether in caveman days all the way today. So when you meet somebody, 3 things happen to you. And think about this. That person either becomes a friend really quickly, they become a foe, or you're totally indifferent about that person. And 2 of those 3 things are bad. You need to become a friend right away. You need to engage people really quickly and make them want to engage with you. So those are my 2 little secrets. Let's get on to the 8 questions you can use as an employer or as an interviewee. Feel free to steal them. They're great. And then try and answer them. So my first question to you is the easy icebreaker question. Did you bring your resume or cover letter today? And the millennial answer is, no, I emailed it to you. Which makes me smirk to think that they don't understand that I have 1,000 emails in my inbox today and that I am totally drowned by email and I don't have their email, right? Like, come on. Bring your resume and cover letter. It's probably the most creative writing that you've done. Think about this. Why wouldn't you want to show that off? I don't get it. So bring that. And then the other question I'm thinking to myself is, did you read my job description? That one that I put my heart and soul into that gave you every secret about my job that you should know before you walked in here. And they all shake their head and they're like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, great, and we'll get to that. So my next question, it's a little tough one. Besides what's on your resume and that beautiful cover letter, tell me about yourself in 60 seconds or less. But don't tell me what's on your resume or cover letter. And that's hard. Try and answer that to yourself. And can you go for 60 seconds? Think about this. This is your personal elevator pitch. This is you talking about you. This is you talking about the character of your life's journey and what you've overcome and where you've been and where you're going and what success you have. And for the employer, this is that employer who's going to think, does this person belong on my team? Are they going to work with my other fellow employees that I love? Who is the character of this person? And that's what this question is asking. So did you come from a foreign country? What did you overcome in your life? Did you learn a second language? Did you have family things? Bring out those things that just make you so special. But talk to your life successes. And make sure that you show them off. This is your 60-second elevator pitch. So now enough about you, and I get to ask my question. What do you know about me? So we'll go through the list. People will say, well, you're the Vice President of Global Business Development at Viacom. So they knew my title. And then they'll stop. Then we'll go to the LinkedIn crowd. Yeah, I went to your LinkedIn. But they're not telling you they went to my LinkedIn about a week ago and they looked at it for about a minute. But they're college kids, and I think there's hope here, right? That they're memorization specialists. They go to school, they study, they read the books, they go back. They put it on their tests. It's perfect. They should know my LinkedIn up and down, but they don't. They would have known I went to the University of Hawaii, President School of Architecture, then took that amazing left turn for the rest of my life into media. Who would have ever done that, right? They would have talked about that. So that's some of it. And then I follow up my question with the same question. What else do you know about me? And that's where the blankness starts in this whole interview process. And the whiteness is coming and the glassy eyes start and they're like, what else do you want to know? So I ask them the simplest question of them all. Do you have a cell phone? And they're like, of course. What do you do on your cell phone? Name me 4 things you do on your cell phone. Super easy. I do social media. I text my friends. I look up stuff. And once a week, I call my mom. So what are those things that you do on your cell phone every moment of the day that you do about me? In this one part where you're controlling your own destiny, the interview, where you're going to propel yourself ahead for the rest of your life. And they look back at me, and they're frustrated. They say, nothing. I didn't. I go, why? You do this every day. It's part of what you do. Why would you do this? Especially at this point. You would have known that I'm a car guy. You would have known that I build Porsches and BMWs. And you would have walked into the room, and you would have said, that little secret number 2, connecting fast. You would have said, I love your Porsches. After this interview, can we talk about them? And that would have told me everything. That would have told me that you did your deep work on me and that you did your homework, that you would have been my employee, you would have done that on my clients, and that you would have led my teams to success by doing that. And that you would have got me in the first 5 seconds that you walked into that room. And I would have loved that. And I wanted to engage with you and talk to you. So what do you know about somebody? People hire people. Companies don't hire people. Know the people that you're talking to. All right. It's getting rough, right? I'm only kind of partway through this. It's already rough. So I asked them, I said, you sent me your materials, the creative writing, cover letter, and resume is great. I go, my intern, who's a fellow student just like you, will be running this process. Use them as a resource. They will be in touch. So I turn the question back to them and I say, you've all done that? How have you used my intern as a resource up until now? And they're on it. They're ready. Positive answers coming. I did. I used your intern to schedule this appointment today. And I smirked. And I'm like, really? So the person who has the job that you want, the person who's your peer in college, the person who knows everything about me, and the person who probably set me up for this interview, telling me how good you are and how much the interaction you gave with him on this interview, and you didn't ask him anything. You didn't ask him the questions that I'm not going to allow you to ask, probably. And you didn't even do it. And all you did was set an appointment with him. Now, I've sold $1 billion of partnerships in marketing and advertising if I come over my 16 years. And if I have a resource on the inside of any company I'm going to, I use them, hands down. And if I don't have a resource, I'll probably find one right away. You need to use your resources. And if you do, they're going to answer all the questions for you. You're going to beat everybody in this interview. All right, we're up to number 5. Let's do a little thinking. Tell me what's on your resume that applies to my work and my success as a business and how you're going to make me money. And people haven't done this. They love to talk about what they did, but not what they're going to do. And you have to think before you walk in an interview. You've got this great job description. It gives you all the answers. They go, you have to think about how you're going to apply your skill set to that and how you're going to help that company. I call it the ABC answer. You're going to answer the question. You're going to create a benefit from that question, and then you're going to connect it back to the profitability for that company. ABC. Answer the question, benefit, connect it back. And that's what I'm looking for. Can this person be on my team? Can they lead a meeting with my clients? Can they bring the money in? Can they apply their skill sets to what they've done for us? This is what you're looking for as an employee, right? As an employer, you want to hire this person. Ask them the question. What applies to me? So, I love this question. We're getting along, and it's rough, and it's a little bumpy now. So I say to them, I go, you got my job description. We've told you everything about our company. You know all these things. So you know that we use Excel and PowerPoint a lot in what we do. A lot of people use them in their companies. So I go, what work did you bring today to show me examples of your work? And they sit there across in their very nice dresses and suits or whatever they bought, their beautiful LMU folder, which is empty. And they tear up. And they look at me with dagger eyes if they're a guy or the girl's just there. And they're frustrated, and you know they're frustrated. Because they know they should have bought something. And it goes all the way back to when we were in elementary school. And what was our favorite day in elementary school? Show and tell! Come on! We all love show and tell, don't we? And this is your time to shine, and it's show and tell time. And you can bring out your work, and you can do this stuff that's really good. But they don't have it. They didn't think to bring it. And they're really, really frustrated. And I want to see it. So I ask them, did you ever buy a car? They're like, yeah, I bought a car. I go, let's go through the steps of buying a car. You researched the car, which you hopefully did today. You showed up at the lot, which you're showing up here today. You walked around the car, you met the sales guy, and I'm sure you just gave him the money. Right? Just give it to him. I like the car, here you go. Which none of you agree with. What's missing? Test drive. You're missing the test drive. And this is what I'm asking you right now. I want to test drive you in this interview. The time that you're controlling your own destiny, I want to test drive you. And you're not allowing me to do this. So how can I buy this car? How can I buy you today? You need to be able to be test driven. All right. It's their time to ask questions, because everybody's got questions in an interview, right? So I say to them, you can ask me any question you want right now. I only have one rule. The questions can only be targeted on how you will get this job. And they're thinking about that like, stuff, what do you mean? Questions have to be only on how I can get this job. And the answer is, they don't know. They want to talk about like what I do in a typical week. What's the vacation like, you know? Who am I working with? Like, remember back in the earlier question when I said use my intern as a resource? Those are the times you should have asked those questions. They would have told you all of that. But now you can only ask me questions that help you get the job. And they don't know what to ask. But I know what they should ask. They should ask, how did I do today? How did I do today compared to everybody else? Am I in your top 5 today? Am I in your top 3, 2, 1? And if I am your top 1, my favorite question, would you hire me today? That's a closer right there, right? Would you hire me today? And I love that. Because that person is sitting across from you, and they know their purpose today. They came to this meeting to get a job. And that's what you want. You want that person who's going to go to your meeting and go get the business, right? So they know their purpose today. They came here to get a job, and they know how to ask the questions to get that job, and they're not even afraid to ask for the job. Because that's what you have to do. You have to ask for the order. And that's what it is, and I find so much respect for it. It's not easy questions to ask, and you can ask them in different ways, but you have to ask these questions that help you get the job. Are you guys still with me? All good?
Yeah.
Make sense? So I only have 30 minutes, so I can only get to ask 8 questions. This is going pretty fast. I'm going to do this in like 12. So, last question I have for them. I told them that I'm interviewing 50 people in this round. I'm going to pick one of those people, right? So let's imagine all 50 people are sitting around this conference table right now, and I'm going to go around the table, and I'm going to ask each one of them individually, why do I hire you and not anybody else? Tell me the single reason why, or tell me the reasons why. And I have only 2 things. One, you as the interviewee, you go last. You're number 50. And the last rule is you can't repeat what any of the 49 have said before you. And what are you going to say? And that takes a lot. I get asked, can I take a minute? I'm like, absolutely take a minute. But they can't do it. They don't get it. They're like, what is it? What is it? And most of the stuff has been said before, right? I work hard, I'm the hardest worker, I stay late, I do all this stuff. People have these set answers. And then I go back to them and I go, here's what you need. Remember in the beginning when I said, tell me about yourself in 60 seconds or less? You did that. You told me about your character and your life's journey, and you did all these great things. Remember when I said, what do you know about me? And you did the deep research, and you looked me up on your phone, and you did all this stuff, and I did that. This is you answering, and I did that. I did all that for you. I knew you loved Porsches, and I still want to talk to you about that after this interview. Remember where we talked about bringing materials, and I did that. I do love show and tell, and I bring this stuff. And remember when I talked about when I applied my past skill set to what your job is and how I could make you money and how I would fit in. And remember I talked about all these things and the other things. And I don't think any of these 49 others did that. And that's why you should hire me. Because I'm the best. And that's who you want to hire. And I will help your team succeed, and I help you succeed. So, 2 little secrets and 8 simple questions to ask in any interview. Right? As an employer, you can use them. And if you do these as an interviewee, you'll crush every interview. Every one of my interns gets every job they want from now on. They win every time because they know how to go to the interview prepared. They stop wasting people's time. So stop wasting your time as an employer or as an interviewee, right? You win everything. Change your life. Come on, it's that intersection where it makes the most sense. Get the job you always want, contribute to everything. As I told my 23-year-old son, so many times. Please control your own destiny, people. Let's do this.